What's up, guys? It's Professor Gnome, and today we're going to be having some fun. We're looking at Iron Thorns. I'm bringing back the Trash to Treasure series. It's hard to call it a series. I've only ever done one other one, but it's something I really want to do more of because I have a lot of fun with. It just takes more time to do, because I want to try to actually make a deck that works and not just throw together anything that I want just to feature something. But we're looking at Iron Thorns today and the Destructo press attack. And the way we're going to do this is by utilizing Iron Crown EX to ramp up our damage, using Miraidon to quickly power up our Iron Thorns. And then we're going to be utilizing Iron Bundle in order to switch out our opponent's actives in order to kind of get a better choice of what we're attacking. But really, a lot of this stuff is going to get recycled, put back into our deck. What we're focusing on is having as many future cards that we're going to be able to use or bounce back. We play Miriam in order to shuffle back all of the Pokemon that are eventually going to end up in our discard. So our extra Iron Hands, our Miraidons, our Iron Bundles, potentially some Crowns or Iron Thorns are all going to get recycled back into our deck. It's the same reason why we play Super Rods. And Pal Pads to be able to recycle our Turos and our Codebreaking. And because of this, we're going to be able to reset our deck and be able to drop off as many. Typically, based on numbers, we're able to hit 3 on average. Like, have 3 discarded on average without having to use a Codebreaking. When we use Codebreaking, we're typically able to hit like a guaranteed 2, so we're able to hit for 4. Most of the time in the later stages of the game after we code break, we're in a position that we can one-shot just about anything. So the deck is actually not that bad, and I hope to be able to showcase that in this video. Definitely let me know what other cards you'd like to see done in this format. I really enjoyed doing it, so be sure to let me know. And regardless, just let me know what's decks and cards you want to see next on the channel, whether it's in a Trash to Treasure format or just like an actual standard deck or whatever. Don't forget to do all the YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And I will see you guys in the games in a moment. Peace out. Alright, we're into the game. Our opponent's going to be going first. We get a very interesting hand here. We're up against Goldango, our opponent mulliganed. Hopefully we draw something a bit more useful than what we got now, because this is suboptimal, to say the least. We'll get 1 card off the mulligan. A Nest Ball isn't the absolute worst, but it's definitely not good. Though we can actually... Alright. We can kind of make a play out of this. Alright. Here's what we're going to do. Here's our play. Alright, I really didn't need to see 3 of these. As long as our Greninja isn't prized, we're fine. Alright. So we'll Greninja here, right? We'll Ciphermaniac, or Codebreaking, or whatever, for a Techno Radar and a Future Booster Capsule. Then what we'll do, so use Greninja, right? Then we can go, get rid of 1 energy, grab ourselves a Miraidon and Thorns, right? So we set this up, we attach, we can retreat, go Miraidon, energy onto the Miraidon and attack. And I would have loved to be able to knock out the Scizor there, but unfortunately that's just not going to happen. But on our next turn, we can code breaking again and get ourselves, you know, the cards we need. Going for the Ultra Ball for something. Gimme Ghoul. So they're able to knock us out. But fortunately for us, it looks like they're pretty bricked. So as long as we're able to get the knockout here, we're going to be in a great position. And we can guarantee the knockout with code breaking. Alright. Our opponent's taking a very long time just to select a prize card. Thank you. Alright. So the question we have to ask ourselves is it better to code breaking for a guaranteed KO? Or is it better to code breaking, use Greninja, and get ourselves more cards to work with? And I think the answer is that we're going to kind of do both at the same time. We'll get ourselves the Miriam and the Iron Crown. Right? No. We'll get ourselves Iron Crown and Thorns. Then what we can do is get our cards, place these down, look to knock this out. We got 2, which is more than what we needed. We only needed 1 thanks to our Iron Crown. We'll take the prize card. Alright, last Iron Crown. So that's pretty good. Now what we can do on our next turn is we can Code Breaker. Alright, that top deck's pretty good for them. They still need 3 energies, though, to knock us out. So we should be okay. Because even if they don't have any energies in the discard pile yet either. And even if their whole hand would have to be energies. What we can do is we can Code Breaker for a Miriam or like an Iono on the next turn to kind of get ourselves back into play. That's not a bad thing to hold on to. We could also play down another Iron Crown just to make our damage a little better. But what I think is going to be good for us is we'll play the Miriam down. And we'll play the EXP. Let's grab that, actually. And then for now, we'll be able to place that down and see what we get. Right. I'm an idiot. That was a huge mistake for me. I definitely could have just knocked this thing out. I placed the 2 on the top forgetting that I was about to attack. I was just thinking about next turn and not the current one. So definitely didn't utilize that well. That was a pretty big mistake. Could actually have just thrown the game there. I was not thinking very clearly. So that was not great. Though, in fairness, it's not the biggest deal in the world. Okay, so they still didn't have enough energies to not... Wait, what? What are they doing? They absolutely could have just knocked me out, though, right? Because it already... There was one energy in hand. Oh. Never mind. Okay, because one of those energies was attached, the other one was in hand, which means there's only 2 energies in play, so no, they couldn't have knocked me out. Okay. Do I even have any energy? Oh, I do. Not really worth it. Alright, we'll probably knock this thing out. 1, 2... Yep. We hit for weakness, so we even knocked... I kind of forgot we even hit for weakness. We got a little lucky with the Goldango situation, I'm not even gonna lie. The fact that I completely botched that situation and it didn't go horribly, horribly wrong for us is pretty nice. Can't even lie about that. Though I doubt there's no way he doesn't have 3 energies to work with at this point. So make it rain. Yeah, there's the 3 energies. Alright. So that was a little delayed. Unfortunately, we are going to get knocked out there. But we're now in a position that we'll just end the game anyway. What we'll do is we'll Techno Radar. Get rid of this Iron Hands. Grab ourselves a Miraidon and another Iron Bundle just for fun. We can place the Miraidon down. We can go ahead and use our Reboot Pod. And we don't really need to do anything else, but I guess we will. I didn't know that you had to. Like, I didn't know that you had to attach an energy to all of them. Doesn't really matter, though. What we can do is just retreat here. Go into our Miraidon. Attack this Goldango down. And end the game. We could have easily knocked this out much sooner and ended the game and not put ourselves in a precarious situation. But we used our code breaking like an idiot. So, if anything, you got to learn to not do that and pay attention to your cards. Though, I liked my Greninja setup play to kind of bail us out at the very beginning with that awkward hand. That actually was pretty sick on my part. I feel like that was actually a good play, followed by a very, very bad play. But yeah, that's going to be the game. We'll go into the next one. Definitely know what you guys think of the list and any changes that I could make. The ladder's a little weird right now. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next game in a moment. Peace. Alright, we're into the next game, and our opponent won the coin flip, so they're going to be choosing for us to go first. We have an okay setup. We'll see what our opponent's playing, thanks to the mulligan. They're also playing some sort of future hands, future box style deck. We get 1 card off the mulligan. That's pretty nice for us. They're playing Iron Valiant. Alright, Techno Radar. We'll discard 1 energy. Make this pretty easy for ourselves, actually. We'll just go ahead and double crown. Bop and bop. And we'll place the energy down. End our turn. And on our next turn, we'll be able to attack, get everything set up, and go from there. Well, I mean, hypothetically speaking. They could go into, like, their own Miraidon and do, like, a whole bunch of shenanigans and knock us out, which would be really sad, but I mean, if that happens, then that just is what it is. Are they also playing, like an actual Iron Thorns build? That's cool. This is exciting. This was not the mirror I was expecting. If they can switch this out, go into Iron Thorns, and knock us out, oh my god. Wait, this actually might just be crazy. Had they gotten a second card, that actually would have been insane. Like, I couldn't even have been upset if that happened. Alright, we're gonna peak acceleration, get our 2 energy. We're gonna attach. And the roulette begins now. They have, like, no cards in hand, really. They're just gonna probably have to attack us. See what they get off their top deck. No, you coward. Come back. I mean, 1, 2, 3. Alright, so we're super dead. But that's fine. We still only need 1 card. We'll draw our top deck. We'll Cipher just to guarantee ourselves something. And then, what's another card we don't really care about losing? Whatever. We'll throw this in, because we're going to Miriam on the next turn anyway. One, two, three, four. Alright, cool. Bit overkill, but that's fine. Like I said, we're just going to Miriam, get our cards back in the deck, and draw some cards after this anyway. Oop, nope. Always 6. Cool. So now we're in a pretty good position. I was kind of really hoping they knocked us out there, though, before, just because that would have been so hype. This was definitely not the mirror I was expecting going into this game. Alright, the peak acceleration hits. They're going to be able to power up their next Thorns. And that's pretty cool. There's an electric energy, so we can manually attach. Go from here. We'll Miriam, like I said. Bop, bop, bop. Get those back in the deck. Draw ourselves some cards. We'll play this down for now, just in case we want it. And let's go for some knockouts. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Get this thing up and out of here. Bring in their Thorns. Oh, we're good to go. This game is over. The Thorns Battle Royale. Alright, so they only need 2 cards to knock us out. They got 2. Which is fine by us. We can bring in our the Iron Thorns of our own. We'll gamble the whole game right here. We'll pod. Boop. 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 And boop. Throw all those down. We'll Pal Pad this and this. Okay, so we could Cipher to confirm the game. But I think it's funnier and better. We're going to just let it rip. See what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, we didn't need it. We actually just completely overkilled him. we didn't need to do that at all. But we have the Cipher for next turn. Yay! Alright. Got that knockout. We got the future booster. They have 1 card in hand. An Iron Valiant that can't really do anything. So this game's over, but this was a really fun... Ooh. Right, they still can't do anything, but it's a cute concept. Alright, for content, we're gonna Iono here. Oh, I was gonna give him a new hand. that was not the mirror I was expecting, but that was a lot of fun. So, kind of enjoyed that. Happy that I ran into that. That was really entertaining. All right, we're gonna jump into the next one. I'll see you guys there. Peace. All right, we're into the next game. Our opponent won the coin flip again and has decided for us to go first. We have a pretty awkward hand. They did not mulligan, so we're going to have to work with what we got. Alright. Not optimal. We're going to go Miraidon here. Place that down. Place the EXP share just in case something goes wrong. And pass our turn. And then what we'll do, because the chance of us getting knocked out are very low. Maybe not very low, because we only have 110 HP. So, okay, well that's highly ideal. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to attach that. Then what we can do is... We're already hitting for 60. So we're going to force the switch here. See if we can get the knockout onto Dunsparce. If we can't, that's fine, because we also bring the Roaring Moon EX into the active, which means that they won't be able to like Dark Patch to it and stuff like that. Granted, not that they can do that right now anyway, but it's going to remove that option from the game later. So it's just going to be nice to be able to get damage down on that. We'll go ahead and Iono here, get ourselves a new hand. That's actually pretty good for us. We can go ahead and Techno here, throw away the energy, grab ourselves this, and our Thorns. Now we can place both of those down. Attack for 80. Set up a pretty easy KO on our following turns with the Iron Thorns. Bop, bop. Yeah, so 150. So that means that we only need 2 cards in order to get this thing knocked out. We can free retreat into it if we have to. And kind of go from there. Artisan actually works pretty well for us. We'll be able to get out another Thorns, and so if we get ourselves in a situation where we want to just go for a second peak acceleration, just to guarantee a second Iron Thorns is already powered up, that wouldn't be bad for us. Explorer's Guidance. We'll see what they get rid of. Alright, so what was that? Double energy, a super rod. Use Nest Ball. So they have Dark Patch targets available to them, and enough for a Vitality. But without an energy switch, they can't use Roaring Moon this turn. They could retreat it though. We're still going to need more Iron Crowns if we're going to be able to get the knockout with Miraidon. Not that we will ever be in the ability to hit for 150, but no, even with our space available, we're not going to be able to take one-shots on pretty much anything on the board, which is fine. I mean, that's not really the goal here. That's slightly annoying. Alright, so we're definitely going to need a couple pieces. So we're probably going to want to double attack into this. So we will keep our Miraidon in the active for now. There's our second Iron Crown, which is good. And then we can get a second Thorns in play keep that into the we'll keep that in play. And then for now, we could Iono, but it seems better for us not to because they didn't really utilize anything. So at this point, we're just going to attack, set this thing into range that makes it pretty easy to KO. We'll power up a second Thorns, make sure that that's able to... so that way that's powered up. When our Miraidon does get inevitably knocked out at some point, that'll be fine because the energy will get placed onto the second Miraidon. I feel like I'm just saying Miraidon in like every sentence, like just over and over and over again. But we can bring in our Thorns, knock out whatever is in the active, and then if anything needs to be powered up later, like a replacement for the Thorns, it's totally fine because we'll have the Miraidon already ready to come in and utilize that. So we're in a pretty good position, all things considered. We'll definitely Iono on the next turn, though, just because of the fact that they're building up a pretty large hand size. In comparison to us, and the cards that we have in our hand don't really do anything too much for us. So we'd rather have them to Dunsparce here, draw their cards, and then be able to Iono them after, especially if they're looking to knock us out. So it kind of comes all down to how they determine this play. They could either manually attach and then energy switch and attack and clear the stadium, or they could just look to potentially retreat. Kind of all depends. There's an earth and... why'd they get rid of the dark patch? Anyway, I'm curious what else they have in their hand then, because they may as well have just used the dark patch to get the Roaring Moon powered up. There's like no reason not to. Alright, interesting choice. Alright. So I'm gonna Iono here. Get ourselves a kind of new set of cards. We're gonna go ahead and retreat. Bring this in. We can attach. Yeah, we'll attach to the one on the bench for now. And then we can just look to get the KO. Cool. We'll take the double prizes. Alright, cool. So we have a Techno Radar. We already have another Thorns and Iron Crown on the bench. So we don't have to worry about that too much. We do have a Ciphers in order to make our next attack pretty much guaranteed to KO whatever we want to put in the active. So that's good for us as well. The other benefit that we have right now is that we are a one prize deck against another one prize deck that will be able to kind of like look to boss up the Roaring Moon EXs, but also trade favorably. Since we're already in a prize race, the fact that it's 4 to 6, like if we go 1 for 1, Roaring Moon for Thorns over and over, we'll come out on top of that trade. Alright, I mean, we'll be even in this. We'll be even now, but it also, again, won't matter too much. So we can go Thorns back into the active. We have the ability, we can just replay a new crown. We'll play Codebreaking. Let's see, we'll get rid of this and the Iron Bundle, since we can always replace those anyway. Then from here, we'll be able to attack, guarantee the KO. Get the knockout, move up in prizes. Now really what we're looking for, perfect, so another Codebreaker. That'll guarantee the next KO. And then really all we're looking for is a boss in order to pull up the Roaring Moon and just get a knockout on that later. So that'll be pretty good, or relatively easy for us. Unless they are able to double boss us each turn to knock out an Iron Crown each time, we're pretty much golden for the rest of the game. If they double boss both of our Iron Crowns up, then there's really nothing we can do about that. But that just kind of is what it is. We need them on the... Like, the problem here is that we can't pick them up because we need the damage. But there's the first boss. So we may have to Toros, actually. Because it looks like they're going to have the ability to just boss us again. So we're going to have to go and play it this way. So unfortunately, it just is what it is. We're going to have to pick this up, take it off the board. I would have preferred not to have to do that, but unfortunately, it just is what it is. We can nest out the Greninja to be able to search our deck a little bit and look to get a boss of our own off on the following turn. So there's our boss. That's good for us. Then what we can do is Super Rod these back into the deck. Make it a little bit easier for us to get multiple cards off. And we'll go ahead and attack. So we got 1, 2, 3. Good enough for us. Getting the knockout. And then, like I said, we have the boss for the next turn. And there's our Future Booster Capsule. So what we can do is, if they come in and knock us out, that's totally fine, because we can bring in another Iron Thorns. We can attach the Future Booster Capsule to it to up our damage. We can, if they lead Roaring Moon EX, that's fine, right? Because we just Codebreaker and go from there. If they don't, what we're going to have to do is place our Iron Crown back down just to confirm extra damage and go about our game that way. But it all depends what they bring into the active. If it's if they go for Roaring Moon EX, then we get the Codebreaker, and that'll pretty much guarantee us the game. If they go standard, like regular basic Roaring Moon, then we have to use the boss, so we won't have Codebreaker available, and that'll make things a little harder. Yeah. So this is going to be close. It's going to come down to a gamble. But it is what it is. We work with what we got. So we'll place this. Place this. We'll place this down. Boss's orders. And we'll spin to win. Unfortunately, only 2. Oh. So close. Oh man, that's so sad. Unfortunately, we were just 1 roll short. We couldn't Codebreaker there. And the issue is, like, we played the Greninja, and like, had we not, honestly, it wouldn't even have really mattered. Another Iron Crown wouldn't have given us enough damage anyway. But yeah, very, very close. That one just came down to the unfortunate roll. But it is what it is. We can't win them all. But yeah, we'll do one more game, because that one was really fun. Very, very close. Just came down to an unfortunate roll, which is just kind of what's going to happen with this deck every so often. But yeah, we'll do one more, guys. I'll see you in the final. and I'll see you guys there. Peace. Alright, we're into the last game. We won the coin flip, so we're going to make our opponent go first. This is an interesting hand to work with. Our opponent is going to mulligan, so that helps us slightly. We could Turo pick this up, so that gives us something. Okay. The Iono also helps us a little bit. Interesting that they're playing this with Charizard. Don't know if I agree. What can we do? Alright, cool. So, first things first, we'll Nest Ball to guarantee ourselves Miraidon. We'll equip the Future Booster, and we'll go ahead and force the switch. Forcing them to give something up if we're able to attack. The Charizard's a nice option for me. We'll go ahead and Iono here. Alright, cool. So we can Techno Radar. We'll get rid of the Super Rod to grab ourselves double Iron Crown. Alright, and then unfortunately we're not able to get into the active. We also don't have any energy to work with, so that also isn't super ideal. But if we are able to top deck an energy on our next turn, then we can go Professor Tauros, pick up the Greninja, bring Miraidon into the active, and then we're pretty much set for the rest of the game. Kinda. No, I mean, not really, but we'll be in a pretty decent position. There's an Ultra Ball. Gets rid of Evolution. Gets that. So I assume they have to have... Oh. I think we Iono here again. I think like we just have to. Alright, that's better. So we can attach, and then we'll pass our turn. If Greninja gets knocked out, it's a little unfortunate, but that's the biggest deal. But on our next turn, we'll manually attach the Greninja and then retreat. Bring in the Miraidon, knock out the Charmander, potentially, and go from there. There's a rare candy, so they're guaranteed Charizard or Pidgeot, I would have to assume. There's a Buddy Poffin. If they... Shaman. They're running a lot of extra cards I don't think are very good. Getting rid of the switch cart for the Earthen Vessel. They added the rare candy to hand already, so I don't really see why they wouldn't be using it. I'm very confused. Alright. I think we're gonna Tauros here. Bring the Miraidon in. We're slightly altering the game plan. Replace this down. Go ahead and concealed cards. Alright, get ourselves some more pieces. I would kind of prefer these in the deck if I'm being completely honest. We'll hold off on that for now. We'll go ahead and peak acceleration. It's going to damage us a little bit, but that just is what it is. We'll attach to this one because I like it more. Cool. And we took a little bit of damage, but like, who really cares? The point is that we get our Iron Thorns into effect. There's another Arven, which means they are going to Ultra Ball and Rare Candy. I'd be curious. Okay, so they're going Charizard. I feel like going Pidgeot is better. Like, making sure that setup is just better, but that's just me. We'll see. I assume they're just going to do 2 energies onto the Charizard and let this get knocked out and then come in after. Is what I would have to assume is going to happen. This is where I feel like going into Pidgeot is better, because you could have set up for all your future turns, is where now you're like kind of stuck waiting. Because there's like nothing else they can do at this point. I disagree. Oh, okay. So they already had Prime Catcher, but they just weren't using it? They're taking so long to make every play. Alright, so Charizard EX is going to come in. They're going to take double prize card. I think the play here is we go Iron Thorns. We EXP share here. We can Techno Radar away the other Techno Radar. Grab ourselves more Iron Crowns just to make the damage a little higher. Then we can get rid of this and this. Guarantee those 2 at least. Good thing we did that because we only hit for 3. Alright, so we are in position though where we will be able to knock that out on our next attack pretty much no matter what. We can Pal Pad back in some supporters that we want to use. We do have the not Rare Candy. We do have the Litten. Alright, interesting. We'll go ahead and put Miraidon into the active. We can get the knockout on this with Miraidon much easier. And also that'll repower up our Iron Thorns. We'll go reattach here. We actually don't need the energies here anymore. Cool, sick. We can throw this down. And then we can peak acceleration. Get the knockout. Attach 2 energies. Place them both onto Iron Thorns. And then when we get knocked out, our EXP share is going to be activate, and it'll take the energy that's on our Miraidon and place it there, so we'll have both powered up. So we're a little bit behind in the prize race, but, like, honestly, not that bad. And the Miriam's going to help a lot. Especially, too, because we have boss's orders, and we hit for weakness, so if they make Pidgeot EX, then we'll be able to guarantee a knockout on that whenever we want. And they don't really have a threat lined up to do anything to us. Like, this does, what, 60 damage? Then this will do 120, so they're only hitting for 180 in total on something on the bench, so, like, not really a problem. I really don't agree with this Shaman. I don't know what this thing is, like, good for. I've seen it in a lot of decks, but it, like, isn't good. No, I don't agree with them just not attacking at all, but, you know, that is their choice, I guess. We'll Pal Pad back in this and this. We'll hold the boss for now. Do we want a Miriam? Yeah, we may as well. So we'll send back everything. Make it so when we do have to attack later, we're pretty much guaranteed what we want. We can peak acceleration again. Get the knockout. We don't need to apply any energy. We can just leave it in our deck. And we'll take one more prize, which means we just need any knockout and a Pidgeot EX. I have to assume the only reason they didn't go for Pidgeot is just because they're prized. Like, they probably run two and they're both prized for some crazy luck situation. UEX makes this a little bit easier as well. That's just another boss target we can have. I don't get why they're attaching all their energy to Moltres. You know what's crazy? When I was younger, when I found out that it's Zapdos, Articuno, and Moltres because it's Unos Dos Tres, like 1, 2, 3, that blew my mind as a kid. Had no idea. Now it's just kind of like, but like, I feel like when I was a kid, that was like the coolest thing ever, because it's like, why would they do that? And then I just always thought that was so cool. Cool, that was a waste of a turn for you. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna retreat. We'll go into this. Just kind of make it easier on myself. We'll go ahead and just attack. 1, 2, 3, easy, especially because we apply weakness. And we're dummy damage amped, so we're hitting for 500 damage, which is sick. We have the Super Rod, we can throw all this stuff back into the deck, and we have the boss's orders, so we will be able to knock out the Mew EX or a Pidgeot if he finally decides to make one. So this game is, unless we get Iono'd here, this game's pretty much over. Definitely a very odd build from our opponent. Wouldn't say it's very good, but you know, we're playing with what we got here. Okay, well, what a turn. Kind of underwhelming way to end this little series episode, but it is what it is. We're gonna go ahead and spin it to win it. Okay, never mind. We thought we were, but we were sorely mistaken. On our next turn, we're going to be in it to win it. But currently, we are not. Because they're just going to retreat. we would assume they're going to retreat. Yeah. Oh, God. This is just taking so much longer than I thought it would. Alright, we're just going to go ahead and Iono. Get rid of everything. Make it much more likely. Yep, there's all the pieces. So there's 4, 680. And we only need to knock out literally anything that comes into the active. So this shouldn't be too hard. Another Miraidon. How exciting. Alright. Even if this is like a Charizard EX, we should be totally fine. Because, like, it's going to knock us out, but then we'll be able to have another... The Iono literally makes no difference to us at this point. If anything, it helped us, because it just added more stuff into the deck. Alright. So, we're going to Pal Pad here. Put in double Codebreaking. And we're going to look for the highest amount of damage possible. Oh, they didn't even let us spin. Oh, well, that's not very fair. Alright, that's going to be it, guys. That's going to be the last game. Kind of an underwhelming, weird build situation. But it is what it is. Yeah, definitely let me know what you guys think of the list or how you guys would change it and improve it. I would love for this to become kind of like a community build in the comments. And just like seeing all how we could like edit this deck and build it and kind of make something out of it. I think it'd be a ton of fun to be able to do that. So definitely let me know any changes that you'd make, and also any cards that you'd want to see this kind of format done with, and like any kind of cards or whatever that you'd want to see, because I have a lot of fun building these decks and like kind of messing around with them and playing them and stuff like that, and just kind of having fun with it. But well, you know, obviously they're not the most competitive decks in the world, right? Like this deck is never going to win a major, but it's fun to try to make the best out of a bad situation and kind of enjoy cards that are a little, you know, underrepresented and underappreciated, let's say. So yeah, definitely let me know what you think about it, and what you kind of want to see next for the format. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Much appreciated. Don't forget to do all the YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribe, all that. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.